Sister Wives. Did Kody and Robyn Brown make up Nanny COVID? Sister Wives fans watched the family dynamic tragically crash and burn during the COVID-19 pandemic. Sadly, it seemed like the late Garrison Brown foresaw it coming. Kody and Robyn Brown received the lion's share of the blame, which most viewers felt they deserved. Early in the pandemic, Kody and Robyn asserted their strict social distancing rules. However, those plans all seemed to fall apart when Solomon and Ariela's nanny came down with the virus. But was that just a cover story? See what other Sister Wives fans have to say. Did Kody and Robyn Brown fabricate the nanny story? Sister Wives fans regularly blast Kody and Robyn for their sneaky behavior on and off camera. But would they actually go as far as to invent a story about their nanny catching COVID-19? Hot take: the nanny never had COVID, a Sister Wives viewer posted on Reddit. I genuinely believe Robyn is twisted enough to make this up entirely because she was panicking that the family was going to transition into being together again, and this was the way to re-halt family get-togethers so she could isolate Kody again and continue to speak Kody and control his narrative. Is there actually any proof at all that the nanny had COVID? It's all hearsay from Robyn and Kody. What are your hot takes on anything, Sister Wives? Other Redditors had a mixed bag of reactions. Overall, most Redditors agreed there wasn't much evidence at all to support the OP's theory. However, it did get a chuckle out of many. They also agreed that if any cast member would fake a COVID diagnosis, it would be Robyn Brown. I wouldn't be surprised if Robyn had COVID and spread it to the family. It's easy to say it was the nanny if no one knew who the nanny was. Or maybe the nanny needed a few weeks off from Robyn. I really doubt they would have made this up because it really hurt them right where it counted with all their rules. I think they would have used a different story if they were faking it. Like blame the mailman or something equally ridiculous. At that point, Cristin had already complained to Kody about allowing the nanny over and not his Sybil, so they wouldn't have chosen to blame the nanny and get more heat for that. The pandemic rocked families across the world, forcing them to adapt in ways they never imagined. For the Brown family of Sister Wives, the COVID-19 crisis didn't just highlight their differences, it shattered any illusion of unity. As Kody Brown imposed strict rules on his plural family, a mystery emerged that left viewers scratching their heads: the infamous nanny COVID situation. For months, Kody kept a tight grip on the family's movements, demanding obedience to his exhaustive COVID-19 protocols. Cristin, Janelle, and even Mary expressed their frustrations, feeling cut off from Kody due to his stringent expectations. Meanwhile, Robyn, Kody's favored wife, seemed to operate under a different set of rules, sparking rumors and theories about how she and her children were navigating the pandemic. Then came the infamous moment. Cristin, exasperated with the double standards, posed the question that would become a meme among Sister Wives fans. What does the nanny do? That single phrase encapsulated the hypocrisy that so many viewers had suspected. While Kody demanded that the rest of the family follow extreme precautions, including refusing to see Janelle's adult sons for months, Robyn and Kody had a nanny coming in and out of their house regularly. How was that safer than allowing his other children and wives the same level of interaction? The question ignited a firestorm of speculation. But what if nanny COVID wasn't just a bad oversight? What if Kody and Robyn had deliberately crafted the entire situation as a smokescreen? What if nanny COVID wasn't just a person, but a construct, a scapegoat designed to shield their real intentions? Let's consider the evidence. Kody's behavior during the pandemic was erratic at best, hypocritical at worst. He wielded COVID-19 as a means of control, using it to dictate who he saw and who he avoided. Janelle and Cristin's independence had long been a thorn in his side, and Mary, despite her lingering loyalty, was already on the outskirts of his affection. But with Robyn, there was no struggle. They were already operating like a monogamous couple. COVID-19 provided the perfect excuse for Kody to sever ties with his other wives under the guise of safety. But that wasn't enough. If Kody outright refused to visit his other children, he risked looking like a bad father. If he spent all his time at Robyn's house while forbidding the others from socializing, he would come across as unfair. That's where nanny COVID comes in. By fabricating, or at least exaggerating, the presence of a nanny with extremely strict protocols, Kody and Robyn created a convenient buffer. Whenever the topic of visitation came up, they had an easy answer: The nanny follows the rules. Do you? It put the blame on the other wives, painting them as reckless while making Kody and Robyn appear as the only ones truly prioritizing safety. The absurdity of it all only deepened when the nanny and her husband actually got COVID. This revelation flipped the entire narrative on its head. If Kody's bubble was so impenetrable, how had the nanny, the person meant to be the paragon of safety, ended up catching the very virus he was trying to avoid? Suddenly, the cracks in the story widened. If the nanny's presence was so essential, how did she manage to break the supposed fortress of protection? And more importantly, why was she even necessary in the first place? Robyn wasn't working outside the home. She had older children who could help. So what did the nanny do? Some fans theorized that the nanny was a mere placeholder, a way to reinforce Kody and Robyn's exclusivity while keeping up appearances. Others speculated that she was a convenient tool to gaslight the rest of the family into compliance. The irony of it all was that the very thing meant to justify Kody's isolationist approach, the nanny, ultimately exposed the contradictions in his logic. In hindsight, the entire ordeal feels less like a genuine concern for safety and more like a carefully constructed excuse to cement Robyn's role as the primary, if not the only, wife. COVID-19 may have been the catalyst, but the outcome had long been in the making. Cristin saw the writing on the wall, and rather than continue fighting a losing battle, she chose freedom. Janelle, too, realized that Kody's priorities no longer aligned with hers. Mary, clinging to hope, found herself perpetually sidelined. And Robyn? She got exactly what she wanted, a husband all to herself without the burden of plural marriage complications. Whether or not Kody and Robyn explicitly made up Nanny COVID, one thing remains clear. The pandemic was the perfect storm for them to reshape the family dynamic in their favor. And Cristin's simple but cutting question will forever be a symbol of the unraveling. What does then Nanny